I think it would make a lot of sense for most sponsors to bring studies through ACCRU. When you think about ACCRU, you think about a group that includes both academic institutions and community practices across the land. So most of the states are represented, a lot of high-performing academic institutions and a lot of high-performing community practices. And so ACCRU allows, with this diversity, to ask many questions that pertain to the academic practices, many questions that pertain more to community practices, and then on a large scale, a lot of the questions that transcend through practices from the community to the academic. You know, we've built studies, large phase 2 randomized studies. As you know, a lot of trials in the past have failed to move forward, or when they moved forward, they failed to produce positive studies, phase 3 studies, and because most trials would run in a single institution, a couple institutions, there wasn't a community partner in the mix, so you didn't have a real-world patient population, or you didn't have a comparator arm. What ACCRU offers is if we actually think about an idea that makes sense, you bring it to the table, and you essentially could test that idea in a large group of practices, communities, as I said, and academic, and get this fulfilled in less than a year. I mean, 120 patient studies sometimes in much less than a year. So for sponsors, it actually is an advantage because you get the mix that typically represents where your drug is going to be used eventually. And it's important because it gives you a little microcosm of what you do when you move to the phase 3 study. A mix of academic and community practices that will accrue significantly to your trials. And so you get performance, you get diversity, and you get efficiency.